Hi, and welcome to Module 2 on relativism. I don't really have a whole lot to say on this one, other than I want to talk about relativism in general. Relativism is it's an appealing theory as far as, I think, theories go, because it, to a certain degree, appeals for a certain level of open-mindedness. That the idea of relativism is there's no right or wrong in morality. It's kind of like your opinion's your opinion, my opinion's my opinion. I don't judge you. And I think in our culture, in our society, at least for the last 30, 40 years, we've had an inclination towards sort of, live and let live, that kind of, hey, it's all good. Whatever you want to do, you do it. And so I think a lot of people claim to be that and find that acceptable. But what relativism really is coming down to is it's coming down to this question is there truth in moral claims? Is there some sort of truth? Is there a right or wrong? Or is morality just a matter of opinion? And as far as it goes, is morality a matter of opinion? Well, some people will say it's just kind of, if a group of people, a collective group decides this is the way it is and that's the right opinion, then that's what's right. Now, the problem with that is what if everybody gets together and has an opinion that's abhorrent, that's just a horrible opinion? Like, what if we lived in the South during the periods of before the Civil War, or in the North before the Civil War was not exactly, overly progressive, I suppose, and it was pro-slavery. I mean, would that mean that slavery is then moral? Most of us would say, well, I don't think slavery is ever moral. A society may allow it, they may think it's okay, but that doesn't make it right. And that's where the problem with relativism comes along, is, if there is no truth, then really it's just a matter of opinion. And if the opinion says, I think slavery is good, then who are you to argue with that? And so what relativism is really getting down to is it's making this claim that all truth is just a matter of opinion. And that's problematic. Even like people might say, well, it's like, aesthetics. It's like issues of like beauty. Like what I think is pretty, what I think is, beautiful, what I think is nice may not be what I think is a good movie, may be different for you. Or what's a good song or good music is different for you and me. And that's just a matter of opinion. And so some people would suggest morality is the same way. Well, I think even people who study aesthetics in a large way would say that, what you think is good is, you may find things more enjoyable, or you might prefer certain types of music, but that doesn't mean that, that we all know what good music is, even if I don't really like, say, for example, like, I don't like reggae, or I don't like country, or I don't like jazz, or I don't, whatever. I mean, I'm pretty open-minded about my music. I like all those. But I mean, if you don't like a certain genre, that doesn't make that genre bad. It just doesn't make it something you like. But even within that genre, a musician can judge whether or not the music is good, even if they don't like the genre per se. And so the same thing is true with movies. The same thing is true with a lot of things. And so a lot of times, like, these ideas of aesthetic decision making, even those we don't see as completely just matters of opinion. Oftentimes, most people will say, even ideas of beauty have some sort of grounding. And I would say the same thing is true with ethics. If we don't accept and we don't say that there's some sort of grounding for when things are right or wrong, that there is something evolutionary or something from God or something from something greater, that, there is some truth. And most people, will say, well, there probably is something. And that's what relativism is all about. Okay? You'll get more of it in the lesson. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me, call me, text me, however you want to contact me. Whatever you're most comfortable with is how you should do it. And if you see any errors, if you see something that's misspelled, you see something I've spoken wrongly about, please let me know. I will give you extra credit for that, and so I always welcome that. If you have any questions, send them along. Good luck.